Hello. We're going to now look at calculating the highest common factor and the lowest common multiple of these three expressions. Common means they're shared by the three expressions. The highest common factor is going to be the lowest number that goes exactly into all of these, 36 and so on, x, y, z. And the lowest common multiple is going to be the lowest number that these can be multiplied, or these three expressions can be multiplied to equal. All of them will go into exactly a lowest common multiple. Bear in mind the highest common factor is going to be a number that's lower than all of these or equal to all of these, and the lowest common multiple is going to be a number which is greater than or equal to all of these. We have 16x squared y squared z cubed, 24z cubed if you like, 24x times y squared, and 36x cubed y cubed z squared. Now there is a method to do this. Some of you will be able to see by observation that the number that goes exactly into 16, 24 and 36, the lowest number that goes exactly into those is 4, but we need a method. So if you can see it, that's fine, but we need a method, and particularly if you're taking an exam, you need to demonstrate how you achieved the result. So I'm going to put lines like this. I'm going to put 16 here, 24 there, and 36 here. And what we need to do is to find the lowest prime number. We need to do all the whole numbers. We don't really want to be messing about with fractions or decimals or powers at the moment. We will do when we come to lowest common multiples. But we need to look at the lowest prime number that's common to each one of these. These happen to be all even numbers. And the lowest prime even number is 2, because nothing that goes, there's no two whole numbers that can be multiplied together to make 2, therefore 2 is a prime number. What I do is I put 2 there, and I say 2 into 16 goes 8. And 8 is also an even number, and the lowest prime number that goes into that is 2, and 2 goes into 8 4 times, and once again the lowest number that goes into that is 2, and 2 goes into that twice, and the lowest prime number that goes into that is 2, and we end up with 1. Once we get down to 1, then we've actually solved 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 8 is 16. We've just proved that that's true. 24 is also an even number, therefore the lowest prime number that goes into it is 2, which goes into it 12 times. Then we've got 2, which goes into that 6 times. Well, we could use 3 here, but let's use 2 because it's the lowest, and it helps us when we come to look at the lowest common multiple. And that goes into that 3 times. Well, 2 doesn't go into 3, but the next lowest prime is 3 itself. So that comes down to 1. Okay, move across to this column. We're only dealing with the coefficients of these expressions. 36 divided by 2 is 18. Divided by 2 is 9. Divided by, no, we can't divide 9 by 2. The next lowest prime number, therefore, is 3. 3 goes into 9 3 times. 2 doesn't go into 3, but 3 does, so we can put that there. And 3 goes into 3 once. So far, so good. We've worked out now what the prime numbers are that multiplied together will equal the original numbers, the coefficients of these expressions. Now we need to find the number which will go into all the other numbers. Well, this is 2 to the power of 4. And 2 to the power of 4 won't go into 2 to the power of 3. It will, but it ends up being a fraction. And we don't want a fraction, we want the highest common factor. So let's have a look. 2 cubed, 2 times 2 times 2 goes into 2 to the power of 4. But 2 cubed doesn't go into 2 squared. So we really need to, let's have a look again, looking across. So now 2 squared occurs in every column, so I can circle these. There's 2 squared, so that's common. This is the word here, common. There's 2 squared, and there's 2 squared. So we can look at 2 squared. Okay, now 3 squared here. 3 goes into 3 squared. Yes, it goes into 3 squared. But oh, hang on, we haven't got 3 here at all. So that's not common. So the highest common factor of these 3 coefficients is 4. 2 squared equals 4. And I can put 4 here. And we're setting off, we've done bits of it. Let's have a look now at x. What we need to really look at is the highest common factor is going to be a number that divides a number, whatever x is, that divides exactly into all of these. Well, x squared goes into x cubed x times. That's good, that's no problem. Let's have a look. X squared doesn't go into x. No, we can't do that. X cubed doesn't go into x squared or x. So really what we need to do is to say that x goes into x squared, x times, and x goes into x cubed, x squared. So the answer is x itself. So we can put that there. We're still looking at the highest common factor. X goes exactly into all of these expressions. Let's have a look again now at y. Well, we've got y cubed, y squared, y squared. Y squared goes into y squared once. 1. Y squared. Now, y cubed doesn't go into y squared or y squared, so it can't be that one. So y squared goes into y cubed, y times. So we're going to use y squared. Y squared is common. It's the highest common factor of all of these expressions. Y squared. Now, z, well, actually, z doesn't appear in this expression at all. Sorry, this term. I should have said it doesn't appear there at all. So what we're looking at is the highest common factor for these three terms or expressions is going to be 4xy squared. So that's the highest common factor. We're now looking for the lowest common multiple, and we want a value, a number, if you like, or an algebraic expression that goes exactly into, sorry, that all of these, when multiplied, will come down to the lowest common multiple. Therefore, the lowest common multiple is going to be equal to or greater than each one of these expressions. Let's have a look then. So we've got, what we need to do now is to choose from here columns of numbers. Well, we've only got 2 and 3 in this case, and the highest value, sorry, the value here is 2 to the power of 4. In the 2's column here, we've got 2 to the power of 3. And here we've got 2 squared. And the highest value of 2 in those columns is 2 to the power of 4. Going across, it could be more complex than this, but it's not. The highest value on 3 is, there's a 3 there. So that's 3 to the power of 1, isn't it? And this is 3 squared. And the highest value in the 3's column is 3 squared. Now we're trying to find the lowest common multiple. So we need to multiply 2 to the power of 4 times 3 squared. Well, 2 2's are 4, 2 4's are 8, 2 8's are 16. So we've got 16 times 3 squared, which is 9. And that equals, well, this is, if we're not using a calculator, we can put down 16 here and 9 there. I recommend that you do long multiplication like this. 6 9's are 54, so we use a 5 there. We've got the 5 here. 9 1's are 9, plus 5 is 14. So we've got 144. So I can put that here, so lowest common multiple is 144 for the coefficients, 16, 24, and 36. This is the lowest number that all of those will go into exactly. Now we need to look at x. X squared won't go into x. X will go into x squared, and x will go into x cubed. And x squared will go into x cubed. So the lowest common multiple for x here is going to be x cubed, i.e. x will go into it. X squared will go into it, exactly. So we've got x cubed. Now we're going to look just at the y's. Well, y squared, y squared. Y squared will go into y squared once, and y squared, y cubed won't go into y squared. So we need to find, now, y squared and y squared will go into y cubed, but not the other way around, so the answer there is going to be y cubed. Lowest common multiple, and now we're looking at z. Well, it isn't a z here, but this value here will go into that. Sorry, I beg your pardon, this value here will go into that. So we need to include the z. The z is included. Now this z is actually 0. This z is z squared, and it will go into z cubed. Z cubed won't go into z squared, so we really want to have the lowest common multiple for z is z cubed. That is solving the problem. The highest common factor for these three expressions is 4xy squared, and the lowest common multiple is 144x cubed, y cubed, z cubed. Please click on like, and but if you want to leave a comment or ask a question, I will answer it. Thank you.